close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, my name's Karl Smith from the UK Hypnosis Academy. Hope you're well, hope you're fine. And tonight we're going to be talking about clients, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to be talking about some experiences I've had, and we're going to go through some stuff to try and to help you get more. We're going to talk about some of the issues that happen as well, and some of the things that you might be doing in your business that might come back and bite you in the ass eventually. So yes, hello. So yeah, big shout outs. I hope the sound's good. What's the sound quality like tonight? Should be good. Briandon, Jules, hope you're well, hope you're fine. Eric's, hope you're well, hope you're fine. David McHugh, good evening, dear sir. Who else we got? Simon, hope you're well. Eddie, are you getting on that? Subliminals for you, hope you're well. Max over in California, hello buddy. Jackie Brennan, hope you're well, hope you're fine. If I've missed anyone, I will come back to you. Good. Yeah, so the sound should be good. The other thing as well is that, yes, I did find out what the syncing issue was as well. It's about a processor in your laptop. See, these are the things as well. So somebody just mentioned that. I'm just going to talk about this in a moment, is that you know, projecting stuff. Good evening, Chris. Stephen, good evening, Stephen. I'm just going to say evening from now on, Steve. That's it. Stevie Barker, hope you're well. Good morning, Vietnam. Absolutely, my friend. So, we're going to be talking about clients. Some of the things that I've had that come up and bit me in the arse a couple of times, and a couple of things that are going to help you get more and more clients, and a couple of little shite things out there as well that don't really help. So, yeah, hope you're well. So, yeah, so what did you think last night of the smoking cessation? I'll be interested in what your feedback is. Were you able to take anything from that? Was there anything that you were able to take from that little scenario last night? Oh, by the way, look at that beautiful cup, Premier Football. Anyway, but yeah, so how did you find that last night? So while I'm just waiting for some of that to come through, look at this. So we're going over to camera one, and then I can talk about what I've been up to today and over the past couple of days. So good, as long as you're enjoying it. Yeah, as long as you enjoyed last night. Yeah, so I finally got the studio to work and fire up cables. The cable that's actually poking out just there were the two cables I've been waiting for. But yeah, so finally got the camera set up. I haven't got them in the angles I want them at yet. Mind you, I like this view, but we've got that one. Most of you won't like that one, will you? But on the same token, yeah, it's been good fun actually doing this. But yeah, so I've got you blaring out of the local pub. Good man. Yeah, so as long as you took something from the stop smoking session last night, if you didn't watch it, don't forget to go back and watch it. It was a live session last night with somebody sat in the studio with me. So yeah, that was absolute fun. It was great fun last night. Pleased to announce that he hasn't had I'm on camera. Pleased to announce he's not had any cigarettes today. He's probably watching right now, but he hasn't had any so far. So that's good. So but yeah, like I said, folks, you know, it's about projecting yourself, and I keep saying it. I say it probably every single day, but it's about that. It's about projecting out, and it's about just going up that quality. And like when I've always done my lives with the MacBook Pro that I'm looking at the present moment in time. This MacBook Pro that you know, that one there, this one here, that's always been the one that I work with, and there's a great little camera, but there's always scope to improve, and that's what I'm always doing. Don't forget, guys, if you are using Facebook, make sure that you click on to make sure that you allow StreamYard to use it. So whoever said last night's session was amazing, thanks very much, but I don't know who you are. But yeah, So yeah, so let's go back to there. So hi Hillary, hope you are, darling. But yeah, you know, and yeah, absolutely, Simon. You know, it's just one of those things. So anyways, get on carving through the crap. Like last night, I hope you enjoyed it. It was really good last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Tomorrow we've got an interview with Gary Coles tomorrow, talking about hypno-oncology. Eric Rounce, am I using a sound mixer? Yes, I'm using the new Rode Procaster. All right. Hello, Dubai Beryl student. Hope you're well. Hope you're fine. I don't know who that is, because you need to click on StreamYard to let StreamYard use it. Anyway, right. So yeah, the reason I'm talking about the cameras at the beginning is about projecting yourself, getting yourself out there. And I know for our members, we've got the members that are on this channel, that we've got our own group at the moment where we're doing lives and we're doing stuff like that. And it's great. And some of the videos that are coming up. And it's one thing that I'm gonna breach on later on. It's about, you know, the quality of what you're doing. Not just about sitting there. Hi Raj. It's not just about sitting there and just going on every night. It's about giving something different every night to what you're doing. And even though you may not feel right, and I don't want to suck a twazzick here, you may not feel that you are at the position where I am, but you don't need to be. You don't need to be, right? You don't have to go for an hour. All right. You know, you don't have to go for an hour and talk about these things. But the key thing is it about getting clients, is about projecting yourself. And I say it, and I say it over and over again. And the only thing I can do is implore you to just get off your asses. And if you haven't got the confidence and the self-esteem to do it, get yourself a therapist. All right. Because that's the way it is. So, you know, little things like this about just getting out. There are things that you can do. There are things. And like I keep saying to people as well, like I keep saying to folk, is the one of the key things that I say to people is do the hypnosis inductions, get the hypnosis inductions. Copy mine for all I give a shit. Make your own up for all I care. Do something, right? Because the more and more you show people about hypnosis inductions and about what they're doing and all that type of stuff, then guess what? The more and more they watch you, the more and more they understand you, the more that they understand hypnosis, then guess what? And you'll come up. If you use your company name as your, like with me, UK Hypnosis Academy with Karl Smith, you know, there's two ways that people are going to find me, either by typing in Karl Smith or UK Hypnosis Academy. With you, you know, you've just got to figure out your name and project yourself that way. It's so vitally important. I can't get that enough as long as it is. Thanks, Jordan Schatz, who's just become one of the YouTube members. Thanks very much for your support. Don't forget to get yourself in the back with the secret Facebook group that we've got, where you can come meet everybody in person round about there. All right. But the idea, right? The idea. So thanks very much, Jordan. The idea, the idea that that you just do all of those, that you do some inductions, you do a lot of emotional detoxes, some really light stuff, maybe some timeline therapy, maybe some swish patterns, maybe whatever you choose, whatever floats your boat, do it. Because what it'll do is that, you know, people will just find you on the internet by typing in, you know, when people are looking for me, if you go to, like, if you type UK Hypnosis Academy, and it just reams it all the way down. It's just reams and reams and reams of what I'm doing. The videos are just there all the way along. Anyone types in the UK Hypnosis Academy, they're going to get it. It's all watermarked, so it's all like that, you know. So, but it's behind that shoulder, this shoulder as well. You know, it's little things like that that really help with projecting yourself. You know, and the reason I have gone out and spent this money on new kit is because I want to take it up to another level. We're doing this. I thought when we first started out doing this, it was like, I'll see how we get on for a week. And for anyone who's on Karl Smith Hypnotherapy, my like page, my Karl Smith Hypnotherapy Facebook page, I should say, we did it for 5 days and it worked out really well. So I thought, oh, we'll do that on here for 5 days. 2 months in. We're 2 months in now, by the way, that has you know, just grown and grown, and you know, and as we go along, we've got plenty more lined up. I've got this week lined up. We've got tonight, I'll get on subject in a moment, but we've got me tonight, Gary Coles tomorrow, Q&A Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, We've got people coming in the office to do sessions. We've got fears, phobias, and anxieties to deal with next week live on here. I've got people coming in on Zoom. I've got people to interview. So that's already planned out. So I've already got that sorted. So yeah, so all good. So right, let's get back on track. I wanted to talk to you about this, Kit, because it is vitally important about getting clients. One of the biggest questions, one of the ones that just constantly come in all the time is about is about how do I get more clients, right? Now, the reason I call it the good, the bad, and the ugly is because there are a lot of shysters out there, right? There are a lot. I'm gonna be fair tonight as much as I can about certain registries, about certain organizations and stuff like that. I'm not going to name any of them because I just get told to shut up anyway. So, but on the same token, is I've never ever found that those registers or registrations have actually ever done anything for anyone. And if I'm wrong, correct me, right? But I'll be brutally honest. I know people that spend a large lump of money on these registers and being in associations to get clients, but they rarely get anything from them. And I really do think that most of them are a coffee pot swindle. I really do. And that's my own personal opinion. Because I'd rather be in my own, I'd rather have hold of my own fate. I'd rather have control over what I'm doing. And you can probably imagine that I'm not, you know, I'm normally get loads of people in. I've got four or five clients tomorrow, I think. And 2 or 3 today, but I minimize that. But on the same token, I get a steady stream. I get a steady stream of people coming through. And that's the key thing about it. And just getting yourself out there. I keep saying it, I'm not a fucking broken record, ain't I? But just getting yourself out there. And like I said, if you haven't got the balls to do it, get yourself a therapist. There's fucking loads. There's a load over here. All right. And in our group, right, don't forget, right, in our Facebook group, you know, if you've got a problem, don't be shout out, all right, guys, anyone fancy doing a session? Do you know what I mean? Evening, Janet. So yeah, so projecting yourself is one of the biggest things, So I wanted to cut back in onto last night, and one of the things that I really wanted to I really wanted to bring up is qualifying your clients. This was and I had 4 emails over last night about this. All right. Qualifying your clients. What do I mean by that? Because a lot of people are saying, what do you mean by qualifying your clients? Qualifying your clients. What do you mean by that? Well, what do I mean by that is when a client phones me up, I need to know that they're at threshold. Now, last night, I did that for free because it's for you, right? I did that so I could fire that over the internet for you guys to watch me do a version of how I would do stop smoking. There's other ways that I could go. Evening, Anthony. And the key thing is that you know, there's many different ways of doing it, but I wanted to get it across and do it for free. Now, the problem that I probably would have had if I had not have qualified him to ensure that he was doing it for the right reasons and that he was prepared to pay that type of money if he was a paying client is his will to do it. And that's so vitally important that when a lot of you, and I did this, that you think, oh, I've got a client. Oh, brilliant. I'll do the session and take the money. Well, actually, I think that's wrong in some respects, because you're not going to do yourself any justice. Because yes, they might be looking for a therapist, but do they want a therapist? That's one of the top things I'm going to leave you with tonight. Does the person actually want a therapist? And if you look back at some of your clients, and if you're new to this, I really want you to start doing this, because you will be clambering around trying to get clients, right? Trying to get clients. You'll be clambering around, but then probably not the right clients. They're not ready yet. They're not suited for you. When people, and I've said this before, folks, when people watch this channel, they know what my attitude's like. They know what I'm like. They know exactly what I'm like. They know there's going to be swearing. It's direct. It's in your face, and I'm going to push really hard to make sure this thing happens, right? And so people really, really get into that. So when I'm talking to them, I say, if you want to swear, you can swear. If it's, this, that, and the other, and the financial side of it as well, you're happy to pay that. I'm not the most expensive. I don't need to. I don't feel like I need to. But on the same token, I keep it at a nice price. But on the same token, that price there still qualifies them. The thing is that when I'm on there, I need to know that that person is at their threshold. They are at the point of, I need this now, and I want this to happen, and I desperately want this to happen. I just need you to push me over the edge. And that is the brutal, honest thing about it, because you will get clients that will come in, and I've said it before, they will come in and say, oh, I'm going to stop smoking, this, that, and the other. And they come in, they sit down, and and if you don't question, and this is through experience of me doing the smoking that way now, is if you don't qualify them and find out why they want to do it, the why do you want to give up now? Why do you want this? And if it's not right, and it's because the girlfriend, and I said this last night, and I've still had emails about this. That's why I always wait out on these ones, because I want to see what the fallout is from the week, and then I can answer some of the questions that have come in. That yesterday, because I did that for free, I had to qualify it and make sure he was doing it for him and not his beloved. I had to make sure he was doing it for him and not his beloved. That's the problem with doing them free. So you've got to be able to get that in your head. A lot of people may turn up for the wrong reasons. Like we had a child here the other day, and I say we because there was another therapist in the room, and there was lots of little things going on. But after a while, we started to realize you're not going to do any of this, because you just can't be asked to do this for yourself. You can't. You won't do it yourself. You will not do it yourself. Why? Because it's mummy and daddy pushing you down there, down the rabbit hole. And it's vitally important. It's really, really important that if you are working with children, that you spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the phone prior to them turning up, and just saying, do you really want this shit? Do you want this? And they probably don't. They probably don't, because they're probably gathering, enough attention, enough people that, they're drawing attention to themselves. Most people call it secondary gain. I call it primary gain. The reason it's primary gain is because every single thing that we do to nurture and get something from it is a primary gain. But that's the key thing about it. Just bringing up some of these points here. Where are they on the motivation change cycle? Absolutely. Where are they? Are they just doing it because they want to go, well, I've been to therapy and it didn't bloody work? Because that will happen. You have got people out there, and this is why I called it good, bad, and ugly. Because don't forget, folks, you are working with people that are not very well, and they will do and say anything to do that, and they will. I've had it done before. I've had people that have said really horrendous things just so they can get their own way, and you find that, right? And I'll come on to that in a little while. But the thing is that you have to qualify them, and do they really want to be here? And the only way you can do that is by this, or by speaking to them on the phone. And I tend to find that I can hear it. Any linguistically type persons out there, right? Anyone who's out there linguistically looking at this, you'll know exactly where to go with this. And the most powerful thing that you can, Steve's just done it just now. The most powerful thing that you can do is sack somebody off, or go, I don't think I'm the right person for you. I don't think I'm the right therapist for you, because I don't think that I fit your profile for what you need. However, and this is why it's always good to have a couple of other therapists in your back pocket, is to do that. I would rather sack people and say no than take £1,000 for stop smoking. I'll be brutally honest. I would rather say, no, you're not ready yet. Come back when you're ready. And if you didn't watch it last night, that thing about try and will. Yeah, but I'm going to try and do it like that. Already in my head, I know I'm already going like that. Yeah, I'll try and give up after we've done it. Yeah, well, anyone who's got, if you've not done linguistical training or anything like that, clean language, linguistical, NLP, whatever you want to do, you've got to find out where they are. You've got to listen to their words as they're talking to you. And like Dave says, I always say to him, I think you should come back when you're ready. You know, come back when you will do this. All right. And I know I'm probably teaching some of you to suck eggs. I'm really sorry, but some of the emails I've had today, I sat there today and I was going to do something else tonight, but then I thought, well, I'll address this about how do I qualify clients. And so the good thing about it is especially just having that phone call, that part there is you can qualify them there. You'll know, you'll hear it in their tonality, you'll hear it in their words, the way they want it, the way I've got a young gent coming to me tomorrow. Sounds like an absolute genuine time. Had a right pants time of things just lately, but you can hear in his voice, I am at threshold. I am at the point of this is going Pete Tong and I need something to go. I need something to happen. Something needs to happen right now, to the extent of he's traveling a very long way to get here tomorrow. And that in itself tells me he wants to change, you know, he wants it. And there's that power, that drive. And I get people I get people from in and around this area here. And I'll go, yeah, okay, it's this, that, and the other. Whereabouts are you? Oh, Rendlesham. They go, yeah, but that's about 5-6 miles away, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah. So you've got to pass me to go to Woodbridge. Yeah. So if you do, oh yeah, it's a little bit too far. I'll see if I can find somebody closer. What the fuck? And you're like, that, fine, that's fine. But then they go, no, in fact, no. And I will stop them in their tracks and go, you're absolutely right. I think you should find somebody else. Even if they change their mind, online, I will bin them because that doubt was there. That doubt was in there. And if you listen to what they've been talking about and how and put excuses in a way and put, oh, well, yeah, I don't know if I can do the session next week due to the fact, well, if you can't be fucking asked, right, to make time for yourself, why am I bothering my ass for you? Right. And anyone who's newbie out there, right, I want you to listen to that. I really do. I want you to learn how to sack clients. I know you're scrambling around at the moment in time. Go work for a charity. That's how I learned my bread and butter in this thing. I went to work for charities for free because the people that I was working with really wanted my help. They really wanted it. And that's the key thing there, is that you've got to qualify a client, because otherwise the key thing is that they will just screw with your self-esteem and confidence. And the worst thing is the arseholes that leave you a bad review because they couldn't be bothered to do it themselves. They didn't put the effort in. And that is so important that you register that I would rather sack a client and lose £1,000, right, than have a shit review. Right? Yeah, we get them anyway. That's part and parcel. But on the same token, when you're new, you don't want that. You don't want that, because I just go like that. I just go fair cop, governor, whatever now, like that. But on the same token, as a newbie, you don't need that. Somebody who's just coming up, you don't need that. Learn to, and it's more empowering to go, I don't think I'm the right one for you. I don't think you're the one for me. I make it hard for people to see me. It works. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Green. What's that? Greens. Can you ask Karl what is the most effective induction? I don't know what that means, Seaboost, because I will answer that. But on the same token, you don't need hypnosis induction. There's no such thing as a best induction, because there's no real hypnosis induction. I don't believe in hypnosis inductions. If that helps you, it's all about the preamble, the pre-talk. And if you go back to some of my videos that I've done on here, then you'll find out why. Because at the end of the day, it's got nothing, the hypnosis induction itself, it's got nothing to do with hypnosis. Well, it just triggers, it just causes a belief. It causes that, ooh, when actually the belief, the intent, the focus, and all that lot happen, and the imagination of firing off, that's all you need. So I hope that answers your question. I don't believe in hypnosis inductions anymore. I do them to show people. I do them in that way, but that's about it. No. All right. I did it last night just to show people. Anyway, lost track. Bang. Yeah. So learn to sack people. Learn to go, I don't think that I'm right for you at the moment. And I'll tell you one thing, Eddie, you're absolutely right, because out of all of them, another thing as well I wanted to bring up tonight is is people asking questions, and this comes on here. They go into a group and they'll ask questions like, I've got somebody coming in with bulimia next week. Has anyone got a script? What we should do is get their Facebook profile and just ask them to be removed from any form of working with people. That's what should happen. Because if you're in groups asking for that, you haven't qualified the client and you're not qualified enough. That's another thing. But so, you know, we do get it. You will get it. You will see it in groups. I've got a client coming in next week. What's the best technique to do this with? Well, you're not going to know until you're working with them, are you? Now, I know that all of you want to practice your stuff, but on the same token, you know, if you don't know what you're doing and you're asking questions like that, you need to pull the pin and get out and start working for charities and stuff like that, and working with people where you can just practice your skills, because it's pretty obvious that you've not been taught properly. But yeah, so just coming on to that, it might be better for newbies to avoid smokers until they get a few successes under the belt, and that's absolutely 100% right, because smokers can be a pain in the ass. They can be, right? And it all depends. And you know, if you qualify them properly, you should be able to do it successfully. But if you're a newbie starting out and somebody says, "I want to give up smoking," and you're not charging the right money, and you in that way, then guess what? It's you're on a high, and you're on a highway for a kicking, really. But so start qualifying. And I know the reason I'm doing this, like I said, during the day I've had email after email, and that's why I was so late launching this one. I thought, should I do this? And then I thought, yeah, well, I'll just do that. Don't forget, and I mentioned this a minute ago, that there are people out there that you're working with are not well. They are not well. Good evening, Lisa. They're not well, right? And they will say and do anything to just say that they've done what they need to do to other people. When you're working with alcoholics, another one as well, as I would steer clear of as well, if you're a newbie, is alcohols and drug addiction, because they're proper tricky ones. You know, at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot more to just dropping somebody into hypnosis and then going about that way. But on the same token, there is, you know, you've just got to look at it that way. But I'm just watching some of these things coming through at the moment. Even Lisa, muggles. What's this? Muggles believe because the hypnotist myths. Absolutely. Yeah, you've got to keep away from things like drug psychosis and stuff like that. They're the contraindications. I'll do a lesson on that one though. In fact, I'll do a lesson on that. There. Oh, Lisa. Oh, it's Lisa. Hello, Lisa. This is Lisa from Matt last night. Still not one craving for a cigarette. Not surprised. So Lisa, that's just popped up, she's the wife of last night. Yeah, and you've got to remember, it's the same as when working with drug addicts and drinkers, is that until they come to the table and goes proper enough, then and they say, or they're absolutely at their wits end, and they know they're at the bottom and they know that they've got to do something about it, then nothing's going to happen. And I see that in Facebook groups. I've come out of all Facebook groups now. I can't be bothered. I get snapshots. People send me screenshots. I'm like, oh my God. And the thing is that they're not ready, and they will just sit there and drain your energy. And it is, if you remember what happened with Peppa Pig last night, they'll drain your energy. Things like this, they'll drive you up the wall, because if they're not committed, they're not going to go for it. Drug alcoholics and druggies and drug addicts, and drug addicts will just lie and lie and lie and lie all the time. And like Levi's just put on there, and they'll just do that, and they'll just run you around in circles. And if you're sitting there charging £40 a session and you're chasing after these people, or somebody else is paying for it, which is another thing, then like that. So just to recap, because I'm going to answer some of these questions that are popping up at the moment, is that you've got to, like we did with Matt last night, you have to qualify for the right reasons. He wanted to do this because he's now fully aware that He was doing it for himself. I mean, he did say he was doing it for William, but on the same token, we had to qualify that last night and say, yeah, but you have to do it for yourself. William is a byproduct for this. William will be utilized for that later on, but he has to be doing it for himself, because if you don't do it for yourself, then it'll just fall apart. And he did. And he eventually just said, yeah, I am doing it for me. And then we used William later on to hammer that home. But if you do it for free, you know, sometimes you want to hide and do nothing with these things. The other thing as well is that be cautious about your clients, because don't forget, you're working with people that are unstable. You are working with people that are unstable, and they will say and do anything to get out of it. This is a genuine, I don't know if I've told you this story before, but it's quite funny actually that Simon sent me this. Ring a Rosies, right? It's quite funny because the other one didn't play Ring a Rosies, and this one plays Ring a Rosies. And I don't know if I told you about the electrician and his daughter, and she came in like that, and I started doing this, and I went, "Oh, Peppa Pig, blah blah blah," like no, and she went, "Why are you using the death of children to benefit your pocket?" Like, what the fuck is this going? And she did. She ranted and raved at me for 5-10 minutes, and that was a few years ago. And it was when I then realised then that I hadn't qualified her. I hadn't qualified this girl. And I said to her, "Do you want to be here?" And she went, "No, not from somebody who's profiteering from the death of children." The bubonic plague happened a few centuries ago, so I'm not profiteering off their death. And that's Peppa Pig, and Peppa Pig singing it. So I don't know what your problem is. Anyway, it went on. And whilst I was in the session, I just told her to get pack. I said, "Grab your bag and fuck off." It's as simple as that. Get out of my office. I don't want you in here. And her dad was like, "What's going on? Blah, blah, blah." She doesn't want to be here, and she's being absolutely rude and obnoxious, and I'm not working with her. He went, "Oh, can't you do something?" "No, I'll find you another therapist." And that's exactly what happened on the night. I will sack people in the room. I will get rid of people. Yes, she was a young pup, but on the same token, I didn't qualify that with her prior to. And this is what I'm telling you tonight. I didn't qualify her before she came. And listen to the language. And if I'd have known, I wasted best part of 45 minutes, you know, with the going through the rigmarole, the chat with dad beforehand, chat with her, and then doing all of that. And by the time I kicked her sorry ass out, you know, the little chat with dad saying, "I'm really sorry," but she's not staying. Simple as. But you have to look at it like that. I'm not reading these things, by the way. I'm just pumping them up so anyone could write anything, to be quite honest. Question: people who are generally unwell with many issues are usually not fully committed to change due to their illness, their issues. If they were fully committed to change, they would not be contacting a hypnotherapist. Can hypnosis and NLP assist someone to a place of being committed and thus create the change for over a few sessions? Yeah. So the point being is that they still have to come up to the realization. Yes, you can teach them stuff, but are they going to be committed? So, you know, like EFT, you know, let's teach somebody some EFT. But on the same token, if they're not prepared to go home and do the NLP or the self-hypnosis, or they're not prepared to do it, then they're not going to do it at all. And you could keep bringing them in and out, and doing stuff with them all day long. But if they're not going to do it on their own and they're not committed to it, it doesn't matter what you do with it. It doesn't really matter. Until they're fully committed in their own head, then you'd just be throwing time and energy at somebody. I really do think, but you know, and it's still on that journey, isn't it? I hope that makes, Marcus, I hope that makes sense, where it doesn't matter, you know, if somebody's not at that threshold and they're not ready, then you could throw the kitchen sink at them and nothing is going to happen. That's just as simple. You know, just like that, really. It's a puppet. Yeah. What was that in? It's a puppet. I can't remember what TV show that was in. Yeah, if there's no skin in the game, it's, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Marcus, I hope that answers your question. I think at the end of the day, you can sit there and try to help them to get to the position, but they're still not bothered about doing it. They won't do it. It's as simple as that. You know, they have to be at that point. No, I don't think it was Brian Connolly. Didn't he used to hit the teddy bear? It's a puppet. I think it was a minute. But yeah, so yeah. So you've got to do that. And remember, and I've had this before, is that clients will sit there and lie through their teeth. And I was going to mention this. I've had this before where clients have lied through their teeth, right? They've lied through their teeth and just gone, this, and this happened in the session. And he said this and he said that. And I've had people phone me up and say, what the fuck? You know what's going on in there? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I actually recorded the session. Do you want a copy of it? And they're like, what do you mean? And I went, well, we did it over Zoom. And they're saying I said this, and this. The whole lot was recorded. So do you want a copy of it? And the things that were said were abhorrent. They were disgusting. And I was lucky, really, that I recorded every single thing on there. And you just have to be prepared, right? You have to be prepared that they aren't all nice people coming to see you. They haven't got hearts of gold. It's like last year. So let me just put this into perspective. Last year, I charged somebody with PayPal, right? And if you don't know this, is a little top tip. This is what I was going to give you as a little top tip tonight. If you don't know this about PayPal, PayPal's great, right? However, there's something about PayPal you probably don't, some of you don't know about, is that if somebody says at the end of their sessions, it didn't work, or it wasn't right, or this was wrong, guess what? They'll go to PayPal, they'll file a complaint, and then they'll try and get their money back. It's happened to me 3 times. I'm now not even using Wossi anymore. I'm narrowing down on PayPal because of that very reason. Because people have taken my product before, my training, they've taken sessions with me, and they will, and PayPal on 2 occasions have abstained and said no, and on 1 I've had to pay the money back because of that very reason. People aren't very nice, right? People aren't nice. Some of you that are out there stroking unicorns and thinking that, you know, that there's treacle rivers and Smarties fall from the tree, all of that you're wrong, right? They're all playing Megadeth, right? That's the way we're looking at this. And what I want you to realize from this is that PayPal's a really good thing. PayPal me, you know, if you still want to use PayPal, but on the same token, PayPal me is really, really good. But however, when you get somebody in and you do a smoking session with them and they go, it didn't work, you'll do that work, all that work for them, and then they will reclaim all that money back via PayPal. And you have to put a real solid statement in to make sure that you don't get it. I just evidenced the 2 that we did, but the one that I didn't, the one that I had to pay back, or they just took it straight out of your PayPal, and you have to start paying it back. So the only thing that, like Steve's just put up there, is it might be different for people around the globe, but bank transfer and IBAN for internationals. Yeah, absolutely. Another good way of doing it as well is a thing called Stripe. I tend to use Stripe now because that does all my accountancy thing for me as well. Stripe. If you've never used Stripe, but people are out there, guys, and I'm telling you now because some of you got PayPal buttons. That's the brutal reality of this type of thing. And you know, you've just got to be prepared that it might be all smiles and happiness at the beginning, but if they don't get their own way, or they've come to you, and I firmly believe that one of the clients last year who came to me and paid me pre did it, they'd already said in their head, I'm going to go for the session, pay for £1,000, and then I'm going to claim it back, because it was literally within 2 or 3 days. Oh, it hasn't worked. I mean, it hasn't worked. You haven't given it time yet. You know, at the end of the day, and then like that, and that things happen. PayPal will do that. They will reimburse. They will, and if you don't put a strong enough statement in, they will do it. Yeah, you will do. And you're going to find that narcissism, you're going to find all of these things, right? And I know narcissism seems to be the huge word everyone's using at the present moment in time, but on the same token, you're going to be, for those that are newbies out there, you're delving into a world where there are people where the cheese has slid off the cracker. It's simple as that, right? Proper slid off the cracker. You know, we're there to help people, but I'm trying to impart some stuff for you, for newbies especially, and other people, is just to be cautious, because they will say, and I've had some abhorrent accusations before. Luckily, I've kept all of the evidence. Stupid people have made stupid comments, and I've just said, well, basically, we'll just do this, this, and this. Let's show your family, and then we'll do that. No, we can't do that. Didn't think you would. No, I've recorded it. And the other thing as well is just keep all of the other stuff, because that happens. Hey, little man's on. There's his message. That's a 2-year-old sending me a message. So, but yeah. So, but yeah. But the thing is that, and as Simon just says there, is that I want you to start being cautious. Qualify your clients before you work with them, right? That was one of the biggest ones, like that, and then go from there. 2.9 per transaction. What's that for, David? Is that for PayPal? Have I missed something? Oh, how much does Stripe cost? 2.9 per transaction. Yeah, but there's a safety net around that. But yeah, I know there is that, but on the same token, I don't know how much PayPal is actually. I don't know if anyone. Stripe. It's called Stripe. Stripe. I don't know if you're just having a bit of a spelling. I don't know if you just missed the E, but it's Stripe. I don't know because I don't know. Just to make clear, just to make sure if there is something called Strip. I hope you're not getting done by Strip. I hope that's not a website you're on, David. Well, each to their own. Yeah, you know, and 2.9 is not too bad, to be quite honest. I don't know what PayPal is at the moment, but on the same token, I'm trying to show people that Stripe, if you do that via that, it does your invoicing for you, whereas PayPal, you have to invoice them and then do it that way as well. No worries, Dave. And I was just making sure you weren't on some dodgy website. The yeah, that's about right. Yeah. So the key thing is that you know, you've got to remember, not everyone's pretty out there. Not everyone's being nice. And they might come in with smiles and giggles, but they might come back with complete and utter visceral bile at you because it's happened. I'm just being brutally honest tonight. But yeah. So guys, have you got any questions? I've been rattling on for 42 minutes. Dianetic. I think I'm Dianetics. That's Scientology. Dianetics. Me and Charlene went to LA and we went to the Scientology place just to watch what was going on. And they lock you in a cubicle. If you ever get the opportunity, right, go to a Scientology place. And if there are Scientologists, I don't mind. It's up to you what you do. But we went there just for shits and giggles to see what they'd have to say. And they lock you in a room. And I mean, they lock you in a room that's no bigger than this room here with studio chairs in it. And they play a movie in it. And it's just Dianetics. Have you heard of this amazing thing called Dianetics? And they're like that. And it goes on, this whole movie goes on for 30 minutes and it's bashing you with Dianetics. And when you leave, you buy Dianetics. So if you haven't done that yet. Anyway, do you tell the client before you record and everything? Tons MTD. Yes, absolutely. On Zoom now, it actually comes up. This video is being recorded at the very beginning. And then what the client has to do is click on it. Now, I do get clients that go, Carl, I don't want this going on YouTube. No, that's fine. And I make that quite clear. But people who may not be able to, let's just say, afford my services, my exchange in energy is that I can use that on videos here. All right. Yet again, I qualify them and I want to make sure. I could sit here and record a lot of people and they don't care. They're like, yeah, all right, put me on YouTube. It seems to be like, I want to be a YouTube star. But the thing is that I could record a lot of people and put them all on it and they wouldn't mind. But the point is sometimes when people come to me and they haven't got the money to do it, I do that exchange with them. Some of them are not even at the threshold. There's no point me bothering my ass. But yes, I do tell people I'm recording. And I mentioned this the other day because we're in this type of world. I'm an ex-police officer. I tend to keep a lot of evidence. Andy, who works with me in here as well, is unbelievable at that type of stuff. But I tend to keep a lot of evidence about what's going on and all that type of stuff, screenshot and stuff, putting them into files. So in the eventuality it comes back and bites you or somebody says anything, at least you can go, well, this is what went on and we had this conversation, all that type of stuff. But when I'm working with children, oh, it's here. There it is. If I have anyone in the office, that little bad boy goes in there with me, my little GoPro. So if we've got a kid or anything like that, I'll just click that, tell mum and dad. And on one occasion, I actually gave them my mobile phone because this, I don't know if you know, this actually goes to my mobile phone so you can live stream it. So I just tell them to do it that way. And all I do is I mute it on the phone so they can't hear what we're talking about, but they can watch what we're up to. So, you know, at the end of the day, I do that. The other thing as well is, because we're in this type of world, is that there's a door here and there's a door over there. Mum and dad sit in the kitchen waiting area, and I go into the other office and then do the session. So there is line of sight. There is a line of sight between them and the child. You know, I don't tend to do. I don't do eyes closed hypnosis with anyone really under 12 years old, to be brutally honest. But as a line of sight thing, that's what I'll have there. Oh, this one. Yeah, I'll leave that on. I'll do that. I'll leave this on, and then what I do then is I just sit here and work with the child, and I'll just say that you can sit here and watch it if you want. Just so, and then I just say, do you want a copy of this? Do you want do you want a copy of the session? Yeah. And then what I do then is I just put that, encrypt it, and then put it onto a thing. But that's any time I do it, really. And there's so many different things. There's so many things that you can do, really. You know, at the end of the day, one of my things on my and the only time I do it is on the consultation form, is that that I can record it if they are a minor. That I do that. Your police etiquette is awesome. Tell them all to go fuck themselves. Do you need DBS checks? No. So do you need an enhanced ticket to, do you need a police search? I'm trying to, because people around the world won't know what that is. Do I need to have security checks? No. I'm fairly lucky because I'm still secret. I'm what's called DV vetted. Well, in fact, I don't know if I am, or am I my last year? I might. In fact, no, I've still got about another year left, but I'm secret vetted. But it doesn't mean anything really now. But yeah, and I think Andy is as well. I think Andy might be DV vetted as well, actually. So we're both security cleared. But no, you don't need to. Do you record normal face-to-face sessions with adults? I don't, unless there is a gut feeling. I don't know, and I would always ask anyway, but no, I don't normally. If I think that there's something wrong with this, I will say, do you mind? Can I record it, basically, for this and this? But if my gut's telling me on my pre-phone call, I'm not doing it. I won't get that far anyway. It's not till they're in the office that you think, oh shit, but that's not what happens anyway. I've had it before where people are talking to me on the phone, they turn up and they're just like, you think this is going to end in a bag of shit, this is. So, but yeah. So yeah, any more questions? Well, I just changed that over. Cool. Yeah. People have got enhanced DBS. They've got enhanced. You know, you can, unless your local authority needs it, you don't need it. And to be quite honest, I could sit on there. All right. So you have to. That's quite interesting, actually. In England, we don't. But Dave has just said for you to work with children, you need to. In New Zealand, you need to be police checked. And I think it's a good thing, really. I think it's a good thing. I've got no dispute, but there is no reason for me to do it. There's no need. But on the same token, to be quite honest, I don't really like working with children, to be brutally honest. Mums don't send them to me because they'll probably come out swearing. But the thing is that no, I don't tend to do it. I don't tend to work with a lot of kids and stuff like that, or lone females anymore, after some of the psychotic nutcases I've seen in my life. And men. But on the same token, there's that. I'll tell you now, right, folks. I'll even tell you now. I think I've still got it on Zoom, but I won't ever play it. I've had somebody where they've asked me to hypnotize them. I've hypnotized them, and then they sit there and start playing with themselves. That's the type of shit you have to put up with, honestly, because that's quite a thing. Anyway, that shocked the shit out of some of you, wasn't it? I think I was in the kitchen. Yeah, Uncle Carl said, you're absolutely right, mate. People out there in today's world, if they don't get what they want, they will fucking lie through their teeth. And I've had it. I had it last year with some little shit doing it like that. They were like, lie. If I say this, and we've even got the text messages, I will say and do anything to get my money back. That was one of them. I will say and do it. And she did. But until we went and showed somebody one of her, let's just say, in her who her training mentor is. We showed them some of the evidence, to which I think that shut her right up. But that's what happens. You will get it, you know, at the end of the day. Yeah, you get that type of shit. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Curious, what did you do? As in, oh, I wouldn't give a refund. I wouldn't give a refund. And that was why. I wouldn't give a refund. And that was one of the 3 last year. And they were working together, by the way. We later found out. So yeah. So just to go back onto that, yes, you can. You can just go get yourself a DBS, CRB, whatever it is. If you want to, you can go do it. I don't think it's very costly to do it. And I don't think it's one of those things, really. We normally do question and answers on a Friday, buddy. But Kumar, does hypnosis really? Yes, no. Well, hypnosis is only an amplification tool. So at the end of the day, if you're going to recall it, I have known people to do lots of recalling before, yeah, but not something I go barking down. And, you know, you do bring up the past, don't you? I'm just trying to think of that while I'm trying to keep on track at the same time. Yeah, people recall events from the past using hypnosis. Of course they do. It's about, but on the same token, it's about the way you do it. It's about the way you do it. Guys, you know, when I'm doing these videos, I'm trying to be as honest as I can with you and not scare the living shit out of people, but you have to be mindful. All right. And that's why I put it the good, the bad, and the ugly tonight. Is that, you know, there's 99% of people that knock on your door will really, really want your help. It's just that 1% of shitbags that literally will do that. They will try and do that to you. They will lie. They will do everything they possibly can to blame you for their problems vicariously. They will do it. What was it called again? I can't remember what it's called again. Hypnosis is different from psychology. Yeah, hypnosis is far more effective. Carl, would you consider doing the funniest stories? Yeah, I think I've done a couple of funny stories, really, haven't I? You know, the tales of a hypnotist. That's what I should do. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what I should do. That's what my next book should be, shouldn't it? Yeah, arseholes and stuff like that, and funny things that happen. Yeah, you have got that. And do you know what the sad thing is, David? Is that some of these people are therapists. Some of these people are therapists. They just don't realize that when you give them the evidence, when you show them the evidence that they've been caught out, they just don't like it. They don't like it anyway. Yeah, I should, mate. We'll do a funny. So I'll accumulate some of the stories that I have had in my past and stuff like that. I've even got some videos of me hypnotizing people up at Everest. That was about 2 years ago. I hypnotized somebody up on Everest. So on the way to Everest Base Camp. So I think probably technically feet on the floor. I'm probably one of the highest altitude hypnotists in the world. I could probably say that. Being at Everest Base Camp, probably. I've done that. The other time as well was when I was flying business class, and I'll talk about this now, but flying business class, and I was wearing a hypnotist t-shirt. Funny enough, wearing a hypnotist t-shirt, and the crew said, "Oh, can you hypnotize some of us like that?" Yeah. 38,000 feet, banging it over the top of the Atlantic, and the long story short is I hypnotized a couple of the crew while everyone was asleep. And the pilot came through the curtains. What are you lot up to? Oh, look at these two, like that. What the hell's going on here? And I was like, they're fine. He went, no, it's not that. He says, is anyone recording this? And then it went on from there. Really, it was like, as long as nobody's recording this, get them out of that now. This never happened, folks. I'm not blaming you. You know, at the end of the day, they've asked you to do it. You've done it. You don't realize the ramifications. But could you imagine that flight attendants all hypnotized, and no flight crew hypnotized at 38,000 feet. Oh, honestly, there's some stuff out there anyway. Yeah, John, just be careful of him. Yes, it is. You've been framed. Yeah. The Journeys of a Hypnotist. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, that'd be a good one. It's surprising how many messed up people get attracted to hedonism. Absolutely. But when you look at it on an energy, if you are spiritual or energy, if you feel that way, or if you just look at it, it's just basic physics, is that if you're a powerful source and there's a negative source, they're always going to draw. And that's what's going to happen. All right. And that's what's going to happen. But on the same time, you know, these are these things that happen for you. All right. Yeah. Sunday sport, it definitely would be one of those crazy things. But yeah, guys, you just have to be careful what you're doing, who you're working with. You know, this happens in all matter of life. Being an ex-copper, I get this all day long. You know, I you know, we used to get this, police officers all day long get these type of complaints and stuff like that. I'm not saying that I'm some type of, and it happens all the time. I wouldn't say that, but in the past couple of years, especially with COVID and that happening, it's amplified people's mental health issues, you know, and I know they're talking more about it on the news, but this, bearing in mind, right, I'm going to shut down on this in a moment, is that COVID is coming to an end, right? COVID's coming to an end, whether we like it or not, it's coming to an end. So what's happened is that people had mental health issues, but they didn't do anything about it because they were down the pub, they were out with their mates and they forgot about it, right? Before COVID, we had mental health issues. During COVID, people didn't have anything to do. So their mental health issues rose up from the ashes and bit everyone in the ass. That's why I've been so busy during COVID. But then we're now coming out of COVID and everyone's going back to the pub. And you're going to notice this dip as people go, yes, we'll talk about we'll talk about mental health, but the big thing about this is that they're going to start nosediving off again. And the reason being is because everyone's going down the pub, they're all going out for a restaurant, they're all forgetting about this shit, whereas they've had time to really listen to the news and have it all amplified. And it's like, you know, yesterday, the tennis player yesterday, God bless her, but, you know, the excuse was yesterday that she couldn't give a news press release, and I think it was yesterday in Japan, I think it was, she couldn't give a news release because she was having mental health problems. And it just seems to be everything now. If I, God bless her, and this isn't meant to be sound that rude, but there is an excuse all the time, and we're going to forget about mental health in the next few months. That's it. But there you go. Oh, right. So you signed up for Stripe. Yeah, good. Good. Putting Bodycams on ambulance crews now. Yeah, ambulance, and I believe firefighters as well. As a copper, we used to wear body worn cameras as well. And the other thing as well is they've started putting them on firearms officers, so they can video what's going on. So yeah, there's things going on there. So yeah, these things, because they always want to try and catch somebody out. Anyway, that's a different story. A lot of old guys and single guys use the pubs for decompression chamber. No pub equals high pressure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't altogether agree. In COVID, everyone had problems. There was little definition. I think we'll be busier now. Get back to normal. Yeah, exactly. So my point being, Steve, is that now people are getting back, is that the mental health issues will still be there. They'll still be there, but they're not being amplified by the news because everything else is going on. They're able to go into the shops, they're able to do other things, and they'll just cover it. That's what will happen. It'll just cover it. They're just going to cover up what's going on. That's all that's going to happen. But fair point. Yeah, absolutely. And this is what's happening is that you're going to start seeing these things slide off slowly, because you know, if you weren't spiking before COVID, you should have been during COVID. And if you during the lockdowns, especially in England, where everywhere in the world, you should have been spiking because there was loads and loads and loads of work going on. But on the same token, I've now just noticed now that the book's just doing that, just slowly just grading off. Don't know why. Maybe that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm cynical. Hi, Powell. So, guys, have I given you something to think about tonight? It's just me being honest. You know, I just want people to be safe out there, and you've got to be aware that not everyone's intentions are like yours. Do you know what I mean? And you might think you're doing somebody a favor, but there's some arseholes out there. And yeah, and like I think David should done now, just go have a look at Stripe. Protect yourself, because if you're offering a high value package, somebody will take it and then they will screw you over. Some people will. They've got no qualms in doing it. They will take all your material, they will take all what you've given them, the sessions and everything, and then try and reclaim the money back. Fact, I know it. Good. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's now being pushed down. It's now being pushed all the way down. It's now being pushed down, and that's the sad thing about this. Yeah, but mental health will still be there. The issues will still be there, but it's now that we do that. There you go. Yeah, so he's got that as well. Cool. Well, I don't think it's just about the weather. I don't think it's the weather. I think it's, well, more people are going out, so they're just forgetting about it now. They're getting more vitamin D now. Yeah, absolutely. Good evening, Peter. I didn't see you come in. Yeah, you'll have to get your Clint Eastwood. Was that 6 or 7? Or 5 or 6, sorry, because I didn't do 7 barrels. So yeah, so there you go. Yeah, but you just got to be cautious, and you've got to put things in place that preserve, protect you, because therapists are, on a whole, fluffies, right? They are fluffies, right? There's a lot of fluffies out there, and they do get taken for a ride by some of these people. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a business, all right? So, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you, because I've got a client tonight, funny enough. Do I make a client sign a contract before a session? No. The only thing that I get them to sign is if I'm recording the session or they're a child. That's the only time I would get the parents to do that. And then that's the only reason. I don't even have a consultation form, right? Some of you might find that really is bad, but no, I don't even have that. I don't even have a consultation form. Probably because I've gone past that bit. If I get somebody sent by a doctor, then I would annotate what I'm doing. But on the same token, I don't need that shit. And you don't see Paul McKenna, you don't see Paul McKenna, Bandler, Grindler, Tony Robbins, any of those filling out consultation sheets prior to people going on stage or working with each other. If that gives you an idea. Well, do you, punk. There you go. Yeah, guys, don't forget, if you've enjoyed tonight, like it. If you haven't enjoyed it, my name's Paul McKenna. But yeah, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. 7:30 tomorrow. We have got Gary Coles on. That should be a good evening, and we'll be doing that. All right. Sexy client tonight. No, somebody on Zoom. I think it's. I'll have to have a look in a minute. No. Jordan, thanks very much for joining up, and don't forget, go look for the Facebook page. That's in the back end. You'll see it. There's a Facebook page. Go join that, and then we'll do that. Guys, thanks very much. I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you took some nuggets out of tonight. Don't forget to like it, and we'll go from there. But guys, hope you're well. Don't forget, not everyone's a bastard, but on the same token, just be careful and put things in place to preserve, protect you. All right, and make sure that you're fine. All right, guys. Much love. Much care. Don't forget, practice. When you finish practicing, practice some more, and then do some more practice on top of that. Guys, as ever, 7:30 tomorrow. Thanks very much. Don't forget to like it before you go. Share it with your buddies. And I'll see you tomorrow, 7:30. Thank you very much for everything. Bye-bye.